At this hour, I'm Christina, Aguayo in Dallas, and here are your top stories. Meta is announcing major changes to its censorship policies, with Mark Zuckerberg saying he is making the move in a new commitment to free speech. The company is getting rid of fact-checkers, replacing them with community notes similar to what X already has in place. Meta is lifting restrictions on certain topics like immigration, vaccines, COVID, and other sensitive topics that people want to talk about that have previously been censored. Also, the company is changing how they enforce the rules, taking away the over-enforcement of posts and eliminating the mistakes that they say penalize numerous accounts. Joel Kaplan, the chief of global affairs, says there has been too much pressure from governments to censor speech, but with President Donald Trump taking office, they have a new opportunity to stop the censorship and get back to the values that Zuckerberg started the company on. Meanwhile, the CEO of the UFC, Dana White, has announced that he will be joining Meta's board of directors. White's election comes 2 weeks before President Donald Trump takes office and is the latest move in recent weeks signaling massive change at the social media giant. Big tech platforms are often accused of censoring conservative speech. However, after Trump's victory in the presidential election, many in the business and tech world are changing their stance, with Meta, Amazon, and OpenAI CEO Sam Altman each donating $1 million to Trump's inauguration fund. The first migrant caravan heading to the United States in 2025 has formed, is about 2,000 migrants strong, and is already heading northbound through Mexico, according to Mexican news outlets. Footage from Azteca Noticias shows hundreds of the adults waking up in a park along a highway in Mexico after stopping for the night. The caravan is one of the 10th largest caravans who have set out for the U.S. border since October of last year, with more migrants expected to hit the road before President Donald Trump takes office later this month. Reports are coming in that another large caravan will be arriving in Juarez in the next couple of days. Trump has promised to engage in a mass deportation plan, with incoming border czar Tom Homan already at work, and Mexico's new president agreeing to be a deportation hub for Trump's plan. A group of Afghan nationals have arrived in the Philippines to process special immigrant visas for their resettlement in the United States. The Philippines agreed last year to temporarily host a U.S. immigrant visa processing center for Afghan nationals aspiring to resettle in America. Department of Foreign Affairs spokesperson Teresita Daza said the Afghan nationals who landed in the Philippines on Monday had completed security vetting and undergone full medical screenings. She said that U.S. taxpayers will cover the cost of their stay in the Philippines. President Donald Trump taking a victory lap after Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced his resignation, saying on Truth Social that many people in Canada love being the 51st state. The United States can no longer suffer the massive trade deficits and subsidies that Canada needs to stay afloat. Justin Trudeau knew this and resigned. Trump then outlined some of the benefits of joining the U.S., saying, if Canada merged with the U.S., there would be no tariffs, taxes would go way down, and they would be totally secure from the threat of the Russian and Chinese ships that are constantly surrounding them. Together, what a great nation it would be. Trump reportedly brought up the merger idea to Trudeau in person when the pair met at Mar-a-Lago in late November. A new board of supervisors was sworn into office in Maricopa County, including former Congresswoman Debbie Lesko, who said she will be, quote, pushing and has already talked to people about a comprehensive audit of the entire election system in Maricopa County. The board of supervisors now has just one Democrat on the panel. Arizona has been the center of election integrity controversy starting back in 2020, with questions and audits surrounding voting machines, and most recently with Kari Lake, who ran for both governor and senator before saying she was finished with Arizona elections due to issues with printers, signatures, and ballots. She will now lead the Voice of America. President Donald Trump is responding to Joe Biden's banning offshore drilling, saying the bans are not going to last very long.
It's ridiculous. I'll unban it immediately. I will unban it. I have the right to unban it immediately. What's he doing? Why is he doing it? Doesn't even know what 625 million acres would look like. And we can't let that happen to our country. It's really our greatest economic asset.
Trump also told SNC's Hugh Hewitt on Monday that the Biden administration is making the transition as difficult as possible.
I want to have a smooth transition from party to party of government. Well, they're making it really difficult. They're throwing everything they can in the way.
84-year-old Nancy Pelosi was spotted using a walker to get around the House floor during the confirmation vote for President Donald Trump. The Congresswoman has been serving in Congress for more than 37 years. Kamala Harris was put in an awkward position during the ceremony, presiding over the joint session of Congress to count the electoral votes in the election that she and Biden lost to Trump in November. The VP even had to pause while reading the totals as Congress gave a standing ovation when Trump's victory was announced.
Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida has received 312 votes. Kamala D. Harris
The Trump-Vance ticket won 312 electoral votes in the popular vote in the 2024 election. It is rare that a sitting vice president gets their own party's presidential nomination and loses the election, having to oversee the certification of their own loss. Nippon Steel and U.S. Steel are suing the Biden administration over its decision to block a proposed almost $15 billion deal for Nippon to acquire the Pittsburgh-based U.S. Steel. The companies claim that Biden unlawfully blocked Nippon Steel's bid through a sham national security review laced with political bias. The lawsuit claims that the CEO of steelmaking rival Cleveland-Cliffs, along with the head of the United Steelworkers Union, worked together to stop the deal. Nippon Steel had promised to invest $2.7 billion in U.S. Steel's aging operations in Gary, Indiana, and Pennsylvania's Mon Valley. In Dallas, Christina, Aguayo, Salem News Channel.